Hello and welcome to Chapter Skip. I'm Sean.
I'm Chud.
And I'm Joe.
And welcome along to the podcast. It's volume 28. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow along on social media, facebook.com/chapterskip, @chapterskip on Twitter, chapterskip@gmail.com on the email, and you can subscribe to our channels. It's youtube.com/chapterskip and /chapterskip podcast. So, you may have noticed something is missing. Mark. You can't
Something.
say yeah, something
Not
or
someone.
someone
Here's
or
something.
some
Stay puffed.
yeah.
Man, he's going to hit me when he gets this.
Yeah. The thing is, Mark's running a little bit late. He's caught up in work, and he's going to make an excuse to his boss that he has to go on lunch.
Whatever. I know he is. He's at the VD clinic. Lying prick.
Getting his beard looked through, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Mark will probably interrupt us whilst we're talking about our homework, and then come chip in during the podcast. So we'll introduce him when he comes in. But you guys all right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good.
Everybody keeping nice and healthy.
Not really.
Yeah, all right. I'll say laugh at him.
Oh,
Joe, your meal.
oh, does that? It's more like when you say all right to somebody, you just assume they'll just go, yeah, I'm all right. So I used to work at a doctor's practice, right? And when I used to see somebody I know, I'd be like, hey, you all right? And I'd be like, oh, you're
Probably
at
not.
doctor's surgery, you're probably not all right. And I do hospital radio, go around the ward, somebody's laying in a hospital bed, hey, you all right? Yeah.
It's a Wisbeach thing.
I think it's
it's just a general-
definitely at least
why
an
not?
English thing. If
Yeah.
you say it to an American, you go, what's up? And you go, nothing. Why?
Yeah.
Well, when you say like, "Hey, you're right," to Americans, they're like, "Have you been ill recently?" or something like that. It's like, no, just seeing if I'm all right.
How's it going? You're all right? I don't know. But anyway.
Crazy.
So, remind me, guys, what we set each other for homework. I was set to watch the movie The Mist because we talked about
Oh, yeah,
was it
downbeat
10
endings.
or 14 different movies that had super depressing endings. So I had to watch The Mist. Chud,
Yep.
you were tasked with watching
Archer.
Archer. Yes. And Joe, you were gonna
Game of
yeah,
Thrones.
because last week I told you guys that I'd started watching Game of Thrones. I'm 2 episodes in. Tomorrow night, as we're recording this, I'll watch the 3rd episode. So, Joe, have you caught up? Have you started it?
No, sadly, I've been really busy this weekend, so no, I haven't been able to.
Oh, boo! So I can't even chat Game of
I
Thrones
know,
with you.
but
Bummer.
if you're watching the 3rd one, I will watch 3 basically.
Yeah.
And keep up with you sort of thing.
Well, you can watch as many as you want.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
to kind of get you introduced.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. Like some TV series are like, if I rush it too much,
Yeah.
I'll get bored easily. I think I'll get more. But if you spend an hour when you can, it's
How long are the
you're
episodes?
keeping it going. Are they an hour? I don't
yeah,
know.
they're-
Oh,
they're
we've got
about
time,
an
Joe.
hour.
You can watch one now and you can come back.
That's what Mark's doing. That's why he's not here.
Doing
Doing
his
his
homework.
homework. Doing his homework. That's what's really happening.
Do you remember what Mark's homework was? The wrestler, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
I'm really interested to hear what he has to
remember.
say about that.
What do you think of that, Mark?
I agree.
Well, okay.
well
Oh,
done.
good, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
I do think of myself as
Yeah.
a Mickey Rourke type. Thank you very much, man.
we're all more amazing than you, Mark.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. I do have lovely hair, don't I? Anyway, let's stop mocking Mark while he's not here because we're not going to mock him.
Mocking Mark Monday.
Anyway, should we talk about homework? As Mark's not here, he will probably want to hear my views and thoughts and opinions on The Mist. But as we've probably talked about it for 3 weeks on the trot, do you want to chat about Archer, Chili?
Well, this is one of those shows that I kind of wish I'd discovered on my own, just to keep... Because when you guys said, it's Adult Swim, Bob's Burgers and all that, I expected awesomeness. And that's what I got.
Hey!
But I
I
kind of
thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
it was shit.
No,
It's no Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
It was one of those hidden gems that I found myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm quite surprised to find that throughout the week I've spoken to a few people, and quite a few people have seen it. Just I'd never heard anything really about it. Yes, I'm about 6-7 episodes in, and when I started watching the first one, girlfriend was in the kitchen, and then she shouted, "Are you watching Bob's Burgers?" No. She's, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." Just, "That's definitely his voice." And she comes in, and rest of the evening, so we sat down and was watching, 20 minutes of absolute hilarity, awesomeness.
So, how many episodes or whatever?
6 or 7. I just
Yeah,
watched
to.
the episode with when they're on the blimp The bomb.
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
that's a
really
great
good.
But
episode.
anyway, basically
yeah.
the Titanic sort of thing. Yeah.
Just the way it just goes mental every time somebody's gonna like spark up a cigarette. It's like, it's gonna explode. It's like, it's helium. It won't explode. It's like, you know about the Led Zeppelin? We're basically on a ship full of like
Is that the one?
flammable air.
Is that the one also where she just pretends as a bomb or something? Don't she? So they secure
Yeah,
it and she
Yeah,
gets a room.
but then
She
it
gets a
turns out
top
there
room.
is actually a bomb, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
She just wants to get on the captain,
Yeah.
doesn't she? I can't make up my mind who my favourite character is. It's either Sterling or his mum.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
both
amazing, isn't it?
so-
Two alcoholics who just drink all the
They-
time.
But they're actually quite good at
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just
He's,
his
he
social
certainly
habits
is.
are awful.
He certainly is. Yeah, definitely. He gets away with. Like I said, he gets away with a lot because his mum owns that, and he's just it's funny.
I did like the episode with the when he's obsessed. He's thinking that I can't remember the character's name. He's like a double agent. He thinks he's sleeping with his mum, and that's all he's worried about. The black guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
yeah.
He's quite early in it, isn't he? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Early
It's
on.
Cedric or something, wasn't it?
Flies
Something
off
like
on
that. Yeah, and he
Flies
just
off in the helicopter.
he just wants to make sure he hasn't slept with his mum. He's
Yeah.
not interested in anything.
See,
else.
in that was like episode 2 or 3,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's episode,
It was a while ago since I watched it, but a really shining moment was when they're in the locker rooms and they're both like standing there naked. And he like puts them up against the locker room and they're just like,
a little bit gay.
yeah, this is a little bit of gay. I think penises are touching.
Shaft and head.
So you're not really going to get that kind of humour from a normal cartoon. Maybe South Park, they could probably pull it off, but you're probably not going to get it from anything else.
Do you like the scientist?
There was
You see much of him
Krieger.
really? I don't know. I can't remember if he's in it. Loads. Krieger.
I think it's in like one of the first couple episodes.
Yeah,
they
he's
have to do
really
like
good.
Is that
an
the
inventory.
slightly-
He's a creepy, weird one. He's the scientist.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
labor-
I'm thinking of the
The
slightly
nerdy.
camp.
Oh right.
Yeah, he's good as
It's
well.
quite fun.
Randall? No. Cyril's the accountant, isn't he? And then
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
I thought the same as you, Joe. Actually, at first I thought that the voice of Lana. Is it Lana?
That's it. Lana.
Yeah.
Was
Lana. Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah.
Katie,
Siegel. Siegel. Something?
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The girl from
does the
Married with
voice-
Children,
Yeah.
who does the voice of
Yeah,
Leela
really,
in
really,
Futurama.
yeah.
Yeah,
really does sound like
because
it.
she's in Sons of Anarchy, and her husband's made Sons of Anarchy. He's
Yeah.
a director.
Sean, didn't you say that one of the characters is voiced by the dude that does Master Shake as well? Was that? I couldn't pick out which one that was.
It's something. No, I'm not sure if it's the voice. I think it was the guy who made it. I can't honestly remember. There was some sort of link, and I looked into it, or I saw the name and recognised it,
Yeah.
or I watched something else and they mentioned it in there, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, there was some sort of link to Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but it may not be the name. It may be like one of the creators
right,
or
okay.
one of the animators. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I think the voices are really good in Archer. They just like the main guy. I've never heard him before. Like the guy that plays Archer,
No, I think he's done a
H.
lot,
John
though.
Benjamin,
I
but
think he's done a
yeah.
lot.
It's in Bob's Burgers, you can tell.
Yeah,
it's
no, I'm not
the
seeing Bob's Burgers.
No,
and
that's
stuff,
on
so-
Netflix as
Yeah,
well,
I
that's
know.
quite
I see it
right.
on there. Just
I thought
Yeah.
it was
It's
going to be
not
another
as funny
Family
as that.
Guy or something like that. So I was a bit like,
No,
it's probably
it's
like
just-
a shoot off like the Cleveland Show.
No,
or...
it's
No,
definitely more
no,
Adult
yeah,
Swim.
it's-
sort
Is
of
it?
thing,
Right.
yeah. It's not as good as like acting or
Yeah.
Okay.
or Archer. But
yeah, no, you keep running with Archer, you'll love it. I'm sure you will. It just gets
it's
better.
funny. I haven't had an episode that hasn't made me laugh.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like silly little things. There's one thing that made Jo the first time she laughed at it was I can't remember. What's the secretary's name?
Pam?
That's
No,
it.
or-
And he calls her an ugly.
The chubby one's
He calls her an
Pam, and then
ugly
the-
duckling, and then he's got a little towel in the shape of it, and he just hits her on the face. And goes, "Rah!" And I think it's just something stupid like that.
And he goes like poop as well.
completely stupid.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Pam and what's the?
Well, she
thin
changes
one,
her name, don't she?
The pretty one, yeah, because they always call her a different name or something. As well, so they get a name wrong. Don't
Oh,
they?
she
And
keeps
he goes,
changing it, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
Katie or Catherine or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. Cheryl.
Cheryl.
And then
Well, I think she
then
turns into Cheryl like season
She's,
2 or something.
she's got a thing for Sterling, hasn't
Yeah.
she? But she ends up sleeping with Cyril.
Cyril.
That's
To
it.
try and get at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
the
So for
characters.
anyone who likes Adult Swim,
Yeah.
is gonna look. It's
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm
love
sure
it.
there's some linkage there.
What's that? About 5 seasons so far?
There is 5 seasons. Yeah.
How many episodes in the season?
I think it's about 12 or 13.
Oh,
I don't think it's
Yeah.
that many.
I'm on the last series now. Have you
Yeah,
got
I
to
still
there?
haven't. I've
No.
got about halfway through
I've only
season
watched
5.
I've only watched the first one. Where
Yeah.
he's having all the flashbacks in his
Yeah,
head,
well,
and he's
flash
saying it
forward
all.
sort of thing.
And well, that's all I've seen, and then I've sort of stopped in a minute.
Yeah.
I will, I'm sure I will.
I got halfway through it, but I was a bit like, I can't really bring myself to watch it. Maybe it's because I don't want to finish it and then it's going to be done. Or maybe it's like not quite as good. Maybe it's just... Because the episodes are kind of standalone episodes, but they do sort of follow along, whereas the 5th season is pretty much like a follow-on kind of thing, isn't it, really? I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sure I will. But yeah, no, there's that linkage there, I'd say, with Aquatine, Hunger Force, and I'd say, and
Yeah, it's that
all
style, isn't it? It's like it's a car.
Aquatine's a little bit more trippy. It's definitely a bit.
Yeah.
I think they were smoking a little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, like
than
character-wise and all that, and voices-wise, probably.
And the humour,
definitely.
definitely.
It's a good thing of a show like that as well. In 20-minute innings, you can just squeeze. I've got half hour to kill. I'll stick a bit of that.
Yeah.
I really like Pam. I think she's one of my favourites. She's just absolutely mental.
They've all got like really strange character traits, haven't they? And you'll find out as you get through the seasons, Chud. You'll find out, and you'll laugh back at the things you learned earlier on. You go, oh yeah, they did mention that. That's quite funny. Or they mentioned that. I didn't quite get it, and then later on in the series, you'll be like, oh, that's why they mentioned that. That's
now you're saying
clever.
about Pam's personality quirks. That was a bit that fucking cracked me up. Where Cyril's having sex with the other secretary, and the camera kind of pans to the right, and she's in the background taking a shit. Just watching them.
Yeah. Now there's loads. Again, like with the early episodes, I'm like usual, I can't remember too much of them.
No, yeah.
That's why I said I need, like last week, I said I need to go back to them there. I've watched so much, I'm like,
Yeah.
got to remember them.
Yeah.
But
I continued with a little sort of cartoon kick. I was listening to this podcast that these guys do, these Australian guys, and they were talking about cartoons and animated things, and they mentioned something called BoJack Horseman. Have you guys heard of
That's
that?
that new thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
He always get advertised. He wants to get back in the game again. He's like retired or something, isn't he?
It's he's like a horse character, and he was in a '90s sitcom that was really
so
really
like Mr.
famous.
Ed, like Mr. Ed. So that's sort of
I don't really know.
Oh, Mr. Ed was. It's an American show. We never had it over there. Talking horse.
Yeah, he is a horse, but he's pretty much like a human, but like with a horse's head sort of thing. Okay. It's really weird. Like all the characters in it, they know they're animals, but they're played off as sort of humans. That's like it's really weird. And BoJack Horseman is voiced by Will Arnett. Arrested Development, Batman in the Lego Movie.
Okay, yeah.
And his sort of
That's
crashed
sold it to me already.
his like roommate / sort of squatter. Is voiced by Aaron Paul, who's obviously Breaking Bad. Jesse Pinkman,
Need for Speed.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different sort of people in that as well. And that's a similar sort of humour. It's quite crude in a sense, but it's probably a bit more silly as well. Okay. Probably a bit more cynical. Whereas Archer was a bit more fun. This is about a character who, he's a washed-up '90s TV star, and he's basically an alcoholic, and he's a bit of a loser and sort of stuff like that. And
it flashes up on my Netflix a lot.
Yeah, there's only one season of it. Oh, there's somebody at the door. Come in.
Somebody at the door. Somebody at the door.
There's only I think it's a Netflix original. Shut up. It's a Netflix original, and I think they've only done one season at the moment. I guess they'll gauge how good it does and the reviews and whatnot. But it's one of those things that 20-minute episodes you stick on in the background, or you watch it in between watching something else, or before
you must
work
watch a lot of stuff.
Well, it's always like at night I'll get home and I've got like an hour, so you can fit 3 episodes in before work while I'm eating my cornflakes. Stick an episode on or anything like that. So anyway, evening, Mark. You alright?
Look who decided to show up.
The podcaster is never late, young Chudkin's ball bags. He arrives exactly when he means to.
We're just still doing homework anyway.
Yeah.
Chudkin ball bag.
I was trying to ad-lib The Hobbit and...
That's very good. I was very impressed with that
I thought of it on the way here, because I fucking knew you would say something.
Well, he was saying it all the time you weren't here as well.
I'm like, how many times have I been called a cunt in my absence?
That's the first time we've mentioned that word.
Yeah, we haven't said cunt.
We've been quite civilised.
Good evening.
Just to keep you up to speed, Joe didn't do his homework.
No,
Joe did. We're just talking about Archer, and then we got on the topic of a new animated TV show that I've been checking out called BoJack Horseman. It's a Netflix original thing. It's on there, and I watched the first season. Probably not as good as Archer, but
I saw the trailers for it. Yeah, it looked very Mike Judge-ish on the art style.
yeah, and yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of sort of a bit drab, but it's kind of entertaining as well. And Will Arnett is the voice, and there's Aaron Paul in it.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, some good stuff in it. But
Yeah, I'm sure I'll check it out.
yeah, it's worth it.
Once
You know,
I finished Archer.
like I said, it's on Netflix. One of them things you just stick on and put either on the background or where you got a bit of extra time. So to finish off, Judd, final thoughts about Archer?
Awesome.
Excellent. I wanted to wait around until you turned up, Mark, because we were talking about homework.
Yeah.
And we hadn't yet talked about The Mist. And I know you
quite
were
interesting.
a proponent of that, getting me to watch it, because
Yes.
we talked last week about Chud's list, which was 10 or 14 or 12. I don't know how. You had a list of enumeration of numbers of depressing movies, and that one seemed to crop up, and you guys were like, yeah, it's bloody
I
depressing.
think it wasn't
It's
in
just
the
a
list,
downbeat
and we were more like,
ending, isn't it?
why wasn't it in there?
Yeah, that was it. It wasn't in
wasn't
there.
it?
So
Oh,
we were,
oh,
no,
okay.
no, it wasn't in
No,
there.
yeah.
That's what
Oh, was
we
it
were
not?
thinking. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
we
We
talked
thought it
about
deserved
it,
to be
yeah.
in there.
yeah, so I watched it on Saturday night. I have to admit, I was like, for some reason, really, really tired. So I did like fall asleep during some bits, so you'll have to fill in the blanks.
Right.
It wasn't, I'm not saying anything about the movie, like I enjoyed the movie, but
Clearly.
for some reason I was just so goddamn tired that like every 5 minutes I felt myself falling asleep. So I was like, pause.
masturbating.
Yeah. Just like pause, get up, have a walk around, go to the bathroom, splash my face, sit down and be like, right, I'm ready to go. Start playing it and be like, right, no, wake up. I want to watch the movie and I was enjoying it. So, yeah. The bit that I didn't get was, has everyone here seen The Mist?
I have.
Yeah.
Is this the one again with where they're trapped in that?
The supermarket,
Convenience
whatever it
store
is, yeah.
thing.
Right,
yeah.
and then the thing tentacles coming through
Yeah.
the trapdoory thing outside.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
one.
I see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one bit, like, towards the end, they get out of the convenience store, the supermarket type thing, and then they go back to his house.
Yeah.
What happened to the wife?
I think she was cocooned on the side of the house, wasn't there, like a web thing?
I can't remember. I literally, like, it's one of them things where my eyes are getting heavy and I was like, don't know if I'm dreaming or actually watching it. So I woke up and I was like, there was something with the wife, but I don't quite know. But I don't think it was really integral to the story. I think it was just to add to the depressingness of it.
Yeah, I've got a feeling there was a body cocooned on the side of the house because some of the things that came through were a bit spidery,
Yeah.
and I guess you presume it was her. He never went in, so
Yeah.
you never really know.
Yeah, so I fucking love the ending.
Yeah.
So goddamn bleak. Like after I watched that, I just sat there for about 5 minutes just going, life's a bit shit, innit?
whole-
So goddamn depressing.
The whole thing of if you'd have waited 2 fucking minutes.
So that's something that you never really explore in movies, is it? It's always you follow the protagonist and he always makes the right decisions and he always saves everyone. And it's a bit like, well, this guy wanted to be the hero and just completely, like, legitimately fucked everything up. Like, he couldn't have fucked anything more up, you know?
Well, I'm presuming if they stayed where they were, they would have been fine because the army rolled in from behind them.
Yeah. And when the army trucks were going by, you see the woman from the beginning who were like, I need to get back to my child, and like,
Yeah.
don't go out there, don't be a dick. And then she's alright. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Everything he chose to do was just completely wrong.
Yeah, that's good. Though,
Which
I
made
know,
me just
yeah.
think, that's absolutely brilliant. And
Yeah.
a testament to the movie and to the story, I just thought, I never really want to go back and read the book. Normally it's like, hey, it's a movie based on a book, I'll just watch the movie because it's easier. It's like this, I actually really wanted to read the book because I
Oh,
thought
cool.
it's probably going to delve into certain aspects, and if it keeps the same sort of similar ending, then I can imagine just the bleakness and the descriptive words of Stephen King would just be like, oh my god, I just want to go kill myself right now because it was majorly depressing.
So this is a movie that Mark recommended that you actually liked.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey.
Occasionally.
There is hope.
Yeah.
Occasionally
There were a
get it
few down points to the movie. I thought the CGI was a bit ropey in certain aspects, but it's a 1997 movie.
There wasn't too much of it though. A lot of the movie was
And the mist
set in
hides a lot of
suspense,
things,
wasn't it?
Yeah, and I thought they revealed the sort of the monsters and the creatures a little bit too early. I thought they probably could have given a bit more suspense. Have they had maybe like a cutaway scene when the tentacles come and took the Shermanator away, maybe the guy from American Pie.
Old school.
That's it, yeah.
It's him, yeah.
Old school.
Forgot it was him. Yeah.
And
No, it's so long since I've seen it. I can't
yeah,
remember
and
too
that
much.
bit went on sort of too long. I get the thing they were going for. They wanted to create this sort of chaos, and then wanted that sort of mysticism about it, with the black guy was like, hey, you're just trying to rip me, and they're like, no, it's an actual tentacle grabbed him, and they're like, no, I don't believe you.
Did the fanatical Christian one just...
Oh my God.
fucking- didn't you just want to kill him?
when,
I genuinely hated that character.
When the little Hobbit guy, I don't know what his name is, but he plays Dr. Zola in the Captain America movies. What the hell's his name?
Oh, yeah.
When he shot her in the forehead, I literally went, yay! I've never been so happy for some woman to
But
get
that's a
shot in the
testament
head.
to her acting, because you were supposed to hate her.
Yeah, and I absolutely despised her. She wasn't one of these villains you're a bit like, hey, you're kind of a cool villain, you're a dick, but you're kind of cool. She was just like, I want you to die. And she did, thank God for that. But all in all, I thought it was a really enjoyable movie. I wasn't sure what the ending was going to be, and I tried to almost predict it because, you know, the way we came about the movie was it's got a depressing ending, so I was like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, everyone's probably going to die. Everyone's going to die. And then something even worse happened. Everybody died but him, and he murdered them, and he didn't need to. And he's just
Including
like,
his own son.
yeah, I know.
Oh, you've shot your own child.
That's
Wow.
just... You can't get more depressing.
Really?
Like, I tried to put myself in his shoes and just sort of think, right, I'm the big guy, I'm the hero, I'm the protagonist, and I've literally led numerous people to their deaths. I've killed my own son and this girl that was being nice to
He
me.
didn't have enough bullets for himself, did
That's
he?
right, yeah.
So he wanted to walk into the mist. And,
Yeah. He's like, come and get me! Ask the army and everyone's saved now.
I think I can remember now you saying all this how it ended.
Yeah. Absolutely brutal, but yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. If you've just listened and actually wanted to check out the
ruined
mist,
that for you.
we've completely ruined it.
Whoops.
But it just goes to show that some Stephen King movies don't work as movies, and some do.
They're very hit and miss. There's some of them are cheap, tacky, and horrible, and some of them, like Green Mile, for
Yeah.
instance.
Well,
amazing movie.
the director Frank Darabont did Shawshank, Green Mile, and The Mist, so he's quite familiar with doing Stephen King.
Amazing. I love Shawshank.
I think it depends on the director, but I mean, I think Carrie was still a good film, the original, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Christine.
Yeah, Christine was good.
Didn't mind the dark half.
Is
There's quite a lot of
Christine
his
the one
books
with the
are-
car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy in it who looks like Jonah Hill. If I didn't know better, I'd be like, that's his dad.
Jonas Hill.
He was.
What
Was
was
Pet
Stephen?
Cemetery?
Yeah, Pet Sematary, I didn't mind. Yeah.
I think it's probably, you can't really go wrong if a story's so strong.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to fuck it up. But whereas the 2013 remake of Carrie, the story was already there. It was already established. It was a decent movie, and
Tommy Knockers?
Yeah, I didn't mind a Carrie film.
Yeah, well,
Anyway, you're very much against remakes. aren't you?
it just wasn't a good film, though.
Uh,
They done
No,
it
I
wrong.
didn't think it was a very
The
good
character
movie.
wasn't right. Chloe Grace Moretz isn't the weird, creepy girl that no
Yeah.
one likes. She's like the quiet, attractive girl that boys would find attractive for
It's-
that reason.
I
That
think
she's
it's-
quiet and a bit introverted. To be like,
I
she's
would,
good looking.
if I
I'll go
was
and chat to her. Not be like, oh, she's a bit fucking
I
weird.
mean, for me, it's one of those films that if, say, it was there wasn't an original, it was just this film, it would have been one of those films that kind of passed under my radar.
Yeah.
If I'd watched it, I would go, it was alright, but then just forgot about it,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that means it's a bad movie, it's just meh.
yeah, I think, well, when we did our actual movie review of it on our main Chapter Skit channel, we were a bit like that. It's like, if it was an original movie, it would just be kind of a bad movie, but because it's a remake and it's from, a well-established book, it just doesn't live up to either of them, the book nor the original
I
movie.
think the nature of remakes are it's an uphill battle because they're never
Yeah.
going to make a remake of a shitty film because even though it makes more sense when you want to make a shit film better, I was like no because it won't make as much money, but.
You're onto something here,
they're
Judge.
straight up-
Hollywood, start remaking shit movies and make them
We've said that
better.
before, because I think I even said it on the Carrie one. I want to see a remake of something that was crap. Don't do a remake of something like when they remade Psycho. What's the fucking point of doing a shot-for-shot copy?
It's like if in like
Wow.
20
RoboCop,
years
for
they
instance.
remade Lord of the Rings or something. It's just going to get panned even before it's the idea is just going to get.
That's because the original
Tore apart.
Psycho was in black and white, probably. I wanted
But-
it in colour.
I've never seen the original
Probably.
Psycho.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the thing, like, they do say they're only doing it because it's already an established name, so you can literally just go, we've got a guaranteed X amount of money just for having the Psycho name, the Carrie name, the Robocop
That's the
name.
part I don't get, because it's an established name for the original being so good. So most people are fans of the original, and they're going to go, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah, well, no, but people like us,
It's almost
like,
destined to fail.
the Robocop remake, I desperately want to see because I was a fan of the original, and I paid money to go and watch it, so it's a bit like, oh, they bloody got me, didn't they? Bloody got me.
What about Evil Dead remake?
Oh, don't even. There were some nice gore effects in it, but it just was stupid.
I totally forgot about that, to be honest with you.
There are certain
I'm going to
films-
go back to it. I think I'm going to watch it again.
No!
And then go,
There's
The original.
Watch
No, the fucking remake, because we hated it, didn't we?
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the remake. That's probably a good
Watching
thing.
the remake,
I'll
there's a
probably
bloke who
like-
sounds like Elvis. You know when they do the flashback to the whole thing about where you got to kill him with fire? And there's a bloke before he sets fire to his wife or whatever it is, he goes, oh, I love you, baby. You're like, what the fuck is this?
I think I remember you saying that now.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Gee, he's probably doing his the Elvis thing of Bruce Campbell.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Is there
before we
any,
get... Oh, sorry,
is there
Karen.
any films that you think like haven't been remade, which you would be absolutely distraught if they did remake it? I know
think
there's
they've
one that
made
I'm
one.
thinking of, and I bet you know
Well,
what I'm
Battle
thinking
Royale, maybe, but they've done that with Hunger Games.
of.
I don't know.
There's one that I'm thinking of. You probably be able to guess. I'd be so fucking upset.
Goonies.
Chud, because it's named after you.
Goonies,
Oh no.
Oh, Goonies, that would be, yeah, Monster Squad.
I might.
Monster Squad.
No.
Is it a big film? Popular, very popular. Cult.
Yeah, oh yes,
Cult.
cult. Yeah, sci-fi film. Come on.
Alien.
Oh, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Oh,
If
yeah,
they
yeah.
remade Blade Runner, I'd cry myself to sleep every night for the rest of my life.
There's talks of a sequel, though, isn't there? Which isn't as bad as the remake, but...
There was talks of Ridley Scott trying to tie it in with the Alien
Prometheus.
franchise. Yeah,
Oh,
there was.
crazy.
It was because to do
Damn.
with
No, just leave
Wayland
it alone.
Yutani done the androids, and they were like a rival corporation for Tyrell who made the replicants. That was a kind of like a, but just that as a vague.
I wish they'd just leave it. Just leave
Everyone's
it
just
alone.
making universes now, aren't they? Let's tie this into this and this into this
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we go on a tirade of remakes and reboots and rehashes, Mark, did you get around to watching your homework?
I did. I was tasked with watching The Wrestler, and I sat and watched that. It's all right.
That was very anticlimactic.
I wanted
Thanks.
to be, yeah, you
You
enjoyed
paint
it.
such a picture.
I was expecting a lot more because it was like, did it win some awards? And everyone was kind of like, oh, such a good film. And then I watched it and thought it was okay. I didn't see anything special.
I like that he's down
There
big
wasn't-
trodden sort of
I think it's
guy
a story
hanging
over
on,
what happened.
hanging
I
on
think
to
it's
his
because I'm like,
career. Is like,
You're an alky and a junkie, so I'm automatically going to go, dickhead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
That's
you
what they're
got to try
showing
and
you, innit? Yeah.
empathise with the character. You
Yeah.
got to realise where he's come from. His body's all beat
Absolute
up. He's
shock
down
of
on
it.
his luck, and yeah, he's made a few sort of wrong mistakes, but he's trying to right them. But I guess if you already write him off as a junkie and a loser and stuff,
But he
it's kind of
didn't
hard
do a
to.
good job of writing them because he was straight away going out buying steroids and whatnot and various other bits and pieces.
he's just
and
trying to live up
then
to
you
the
see
hype.
him,
What sort of thing?
you
He
see him
wanted to
snorting
hold on
coke
to his
and
career.
banging some random whore instead of like going to see his daughter or whatever, and you're like, you're just a complete fuck up.
Yeah. Well, you got to be down before you can go up. I suppose they got to paint that picture of him to be
Sean
down.
the philosopher.
Yeah, got to go down before you can go up. What she said.
Ladies.
So what's it? Phrasing.
Oh yeah, very good. But there was nothing that, made me empathise with the character that much. It was like, yeah, your performance was okay, but it's Mickey Rourke with his weird face,
Marv.
Can't-
Yeah, he looks more normal as Marv. And then there's that bit when, after he goes to hospital and he's like, I need to get back out there. I'm a professional wrestler. And I'm like, no, you're not a professional wrestler. Not now.
Well, he
and I
used
don't
to
know
be-
if he would have been beforehand, because if he was before,
I think-
surely he would have had lucrative movie deals. Where were they? Most professional wrestlers have
He had
been
his
in a
own
fucking
video
movie.
game.
Oh yeah, well, he's in a
Nez.
video game. Yeah.
Ned's video game where he's
Yeah.
playing against that little
That's
kid,
great.
and he plays
An
as
action
himself.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I loved it for having Necro Butcher in it. He was the guy at the start who shakes his hand with the glasses on and says what moves we're going to go through.
Is that when he staples stuff to himself?
Yeah.
Necro Butcher.
Fucking
He,
brilliant.
basically,
Amazing.
he's like a trash,
Amazing.
hardcore indie
Combat
wrestler.
Zone.
Oh, right.
Zone
And
wrestling.
he's a super smart guy, but he just comes across as like the most dumbest
He'd do
guy. He's
anything,
got
wouldn't he?
like
He'd do anything.
weird like.
Yeah,
it's basically if you tried to grow out your hair, like got the bald bit on top, and just goes mental. He's got like this big like weed tattoo, and he like does staples, wrestles with no shoes on when there's like thumbtacks in the ring, and it's like, you're a fucking idiot, you know, jumping through barbed wire and tables and stuff. It's like, what are you doing? He just knows, and it's like him, like on the lowest like totem pole of like wrestlers. He's just in this massive like Oscar-winning movie or whatever, award-winning movie, and he's just like, hey,
That's amazing.
how's it
With a little glass on.
going?
Yeah, I did quite like that bit. I like the whole thing of him living in the past and still being in like the well, was it the 90s or the 80s?
Probably the 80s.
So stuck in the 80s. Well, yeah, because he said the 90s sucked. I like that idea and that, but it just didn't. I was expecting more from it. I think I was expecting like Gran Torino levels of like awesome character-driven story, and it was like.
It's not quite that level.
No, but it was like I wouldn't. It's not one to go on my shelf.
No.
I watched it. I wasn't disappointed, but I wouldn't. You know,
I wasn't sure if you'd love it or not, but I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, I'm
hate
glad
it.
I saw it because I've been meaning to watch it for ages. So this was a kick up the arse for me to go and watch it.
I think for me, as a wrestling fan, it appealed to me as well because it's like it's something I like to watch.
Yeah.
And I know it's loosely based on Jake the Snake Roberts. Apparently, you know, some people say it is, some people because like
He's
Jake
had
the
a
Snake.
mental life, isn't he?
Yeah, because he, you know, a massive, huge wrestler. Everybody knows of him, and then he's basically gone downhill, got involved in like drugs, and then turns up at like indie shows, like messed up and screws up the shows. And he's got a daughter he never sees, which is kind of similar to Randy the Ram.
I think his sister's been killed by mobsters, shot.
Yeah,
I think,
something
things
crazy like that.
There's loads.
both of them are named after
Loads,
animals:
loads.
snake, ram.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
They could have gone like Pete the Python.
Pete the Python.
Cecil the Snake.
Anyway, so I guess that's homework out of the way. Good showing from everyone, apart from Joe.
Yeah.
Has anyone got anything they want to talk about this week?
Oh, go on. Was you going to say something?
No.
Chud doesn't know this story, but I've mentioned to you guys before how when Erin was at nursery, she used to play chapter skip.
Yeah.
So she'd get a couple of her friends and they stand against a wall. Oddly enough, she was never me. She was always Sean.
Hey!
But probably because of the hair. Yeah.
Favourite
But
character.
she'd stand there and go, "Hello, welcome to chapter skip. I'm Sean," and then get one of her friends to say, "You say you're Joe," and like, but they had no idea what the fuck's going on. Obviously. And then
Oh, bless her.
I'd mentioned to her that I was doing the podcast. So I've had to explain to her what it is because she can't listen to it. You know, we swear quite a lot. So go on.
I was going to say, of course you can listen to it.
You swear,
YouTube.com/Chapskip podcast.
Yeah.
You come straight in the floor.
Yeah, we say cunt too often for a little child.
Dad,
do we
why
say?
do they keep calling you Stay Puffed?
Oh,
It's masturbating.
Yeah, it was
Can I do it?
But
No.
I'd explained to her what it is, and then she told me the other day she wants to do a codpast with two of her friends from school where they just talk about things, and she'd like to do codpasting.
Talk about old fish.
I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, codpasting.
that's great.
You just got it, didn't you?
I didn't hear it properly until it just sunk in.
Walk past the fish one, get us some cod.
Yeah.
Yeah, went past it.
I'm Mark, I'm Joe, and I'm Joe.
thought, I'm not going to
Catch you guys
correct
next time. Twiglets! Or whatever Joe just shouts at the end.
I thought I'm not going to correct her because it was too cute, the whole codpasting.
Yeah.
So there we go. She's
So instead of standing in front of a wall, you're just going to get to sit down, grab
just
a
gonna
cup of
sit
tea, and
down,
just
yeah.
chat about
gonna
random
talk about-
nonsense and whatnot. Do you think we should make a family-friendly version of the
That'd
podcast?
be very difficult.
Hello and welcome to start again. Hey, fuck! Start again. Right.
Hi and welcome to Chapskip.
Hi, the family-friendly version. I'm Joe. I'm
Some
Sean.
really cool soothing music in the background and that.
Yeah.
Sound like a porno already.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow, chicka, chicka, chicka.
I had a thought the other day. I had something not very harrowing happen to me, but something that really pissed me off, and I don't normally get pissed off that easy. And I thought I could have learned from my former teenage self. Have you ever learned from your previous self? Now,
Don't always stick your dick in it.
I don't say don't always, just weirdly always.
selectively dick poking. I was at hospital radio the other day. I'll do it every Wednesday. I do a show. Finish at 10. Takes me about 20 minutes, half an hour to drive home, and I always get petrol after I've done that. So I've got petrol for the work. I have to get up early. I get up at like 20 to 6. So it's late at night. Although some people like 10:30 is not late. It's like when I get up and stuff. But when you have to be up at almost 6 o'clock in the morning, you
Oh,
have
I
to
know that feeling, brother.
Exactly. So I'd just finished the radio show. What song did I finish on? It was quite poignant. I can't remember what it was.
Disgusting.
Not like that! Some cheesy 80s song, and I was just like rocking out to it. And then, so I get in the car, load up a podcast, start driving home, like, yeah, boys, all good. Get to the petrol station, go to grab my wallet to get some, not money out, but to get my card out to put it in there. And I left my wallet at hospital radio.
Oh, shit.
So I was literally, and my petrol was literally on red as well. I was like, what the bloody hell am I going to do? It's like, I've got the option of going home and then trying to figure out or find some money or something like that, or do I risk taking another 20-30 minute journey back to King's Lynn to get the wallet, then drive to the nearest petrol station on red? And it's like, I don't know how far my gauge goes. You know, sometimes it's on red you get 30 miles, and I don't know, what's Wisbeach to King's Lynn? Is that like 20 miles? Will I make it back? So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Literally just sitting there just going, you're an idiot! Why do you do these things? Like, you always check if you got your keys and your wallet and your hair's looking nice and your glasses and your backpack and your iPad, and it's like, just check your wallet. It's got like your ID in there. It's got like your bank card and money and stuff. And I got a free McDonald's tea in there. I don't need that, you know.
Basically, Sean, welcome to the beginnings of old age. This is my day every day.
So I was literally like sitting in Tesco car park going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I thought, right, okay, I'll drive home. Found some money, went back to Tesco, filled up some petrol, got to King's Lynn, found my wallet on the floor, thankfully, because it could have been lost anywhere. I could have lost it at work earlier that day and I would have been really screwed after that. So then I thought, what would be a good solution here? And then I thought back to my old 14, 15, 16-year-old days when myself, Joe and Chud, we were all like sort of grebo, gothy skaters. And I thought I would invest in a cool chain for my wallet.
Keeping it real.
Sound effect. And now, if it falls out, I will never lose it because it's physically attached to me.
Although you can't, some money could all fly out of it.
It could, but at least I would know.
What chain
That's
on
why Newton he's still rocking the chain.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'd just like to point out, I have a chain with my keys on.
Hey! So I just
don't
thought,
have a chain.
it's just one of those things that you learn from before myself, whereas back in, 15 years ago or whatever, that was purely a fashionable thing.
was,
I'd have like 5 chains and be like, whoa, look at all my chains.
Seems fucking ridiculous now.
Yeah, and now it's like, wow, why do they have like chains?
I can remember.
You just go to pet shops and buy chains.
Yeah, I do. I can remember someone who had an industrial chain hanging off the trailer. Seriously, one of them big, fat, thick ones.
Yeah, I used to get them off the factory I was in. I think when like a huge, I don't know what you call these massive cuboids filled with milk, how many fucking gallons they held, they'd come in and they'd be chained up. So like, I'm just going to have some chain off
Like
that.
a chain out of an anchor on the end of it.
Just literally can't walk.
And
Never gonna lose my wallet, boys. Broys?
Broys.
That's a mixture of boys and
Is
bros.
that some other old school thing you used to call each other?
Yeah, broys.
Roy. He's my boy and his name's Roy. Roy.
So I just thought, have you guys ever learned from your former self? 14-year-old me's now saying, yeah, that's why I wore chains around. And I'm thinking, 14-year-old self, why'd you wear so many chains?
No, when I was younger,
No.
it's like when we used to wear them really big, stupid, baggy trousers. I was like, I'm always going to wear these. They're amazing. And now I wear tight skinnies.
But that's the thing, right? Back in the day...
I didn't like zip-up hoodies. Absolutely couldn't stand them. I used to always have a hoodie over my top, like this big skater hoodie, DC hoodie. Can't stand them hoodies. I have zip-up ones now.
But the thing is, like, with baggy jeans, when you was a skater, that was, like, the fashion or the cool thing. Right. But the thing is, they had massive pockets.
Yeah,
so you'd never be able to lose your
had
wallet.
loads of
But you still had
pockets.
chains in it. And now it's like, stupid little skinny jeans that have got pockets the size of, you could fit, like, a pound in it. And then you put your wallet in there, that's not going to fall out because they're skinny jeans. It's like, it falls out all the time now.
Crazy.
What about you, Chad? Have you learned from your former self?
Yeah, not to have stupid fucking sweepy hair on my fucking eyes so I can't see properly.
Nothing wrong with stupid sweepy hair. He says, brushing his hair out of his face.
That and, yeah, like Mark said, not to put my willy in places it
Yeah.
Hoovers.
Strap up.
Mark, can you think back to your youth?
That's a long
Yeah,
while,
but
so I
back
think
when-
really hard.
Come on, Grandad.
I'll be alright.
Let me tune in my hearing aid.
What do you say? Get your horn. Go to them horns.
Ear trombone.
Well, you grew up in, what, the 80s?
I was a
In the
70s.
80s.
Yeah, I was born in the mid
Oh, I
70s.
was being generous.
Yeah.
Well, no, you were
thought
in
that
your teens in the 80s, were you?
That was back. Yeah, I would have been. Well, no, I'd have been 10. Yeah, I'd have been 10 in 84.
I was born in
so-
83 and you were 10 in 84.
I thought that was bad today. I had a first aid call at
I
work,
was 1 year old.
and this girl was like, "Yeah, I was born in '96." I'm like, "You're born in '96?" I was like, "I've been at fucking full-time work for 5 years at that point."
It's like
Jesus
It's
Christ!
like when I go to jams and there's boys there who've been born in 2000 and things like that.
Yeah.
Real young. It's like,
So I
what?
feel older. No, I don't think I wasn't particularly
learned from
reckless.
any-
No, I don't learn from anything. I haven't changed that much. I was always like t-shirt, jeans. I've
Yeah.
just gone t-shirt, combat trousers.
Don't give a
more
fuck
pockets.
about what anyone
Yeah.
else thinks.
No.
Yeah, we've always sort of done that. You just rock the hoodies and the jeans away, so they've just got a bit tighter.
Still wearing the same pair, so
I don't think I'm not very mature for my age, so I don't
that's
think.
why you're hanging out with us.
Yeah. That's where you're sitting there on a Monday night doing a podcast with 3 other guys and one with
Strapping young men.
yeah, strapping young bearded men. One with lovely swooping hair, one with a backwards cap. One's Joe.
One's Joe.
Okay, should we chat about?
Talk about that.
Should we chat about movie news? As
Probably
that's what we're
should.
here to do. Chat about movies and other such nonsense. I came across a few things today. Have you guys heard that Taken 3 is in production?
I
I've
haven't
seen
even seen
a
second.
poster which looked really confusing.
Yeah, the second one was poo, wasn't it?
This
I didn't
second-
mind it. I thought
No,
it
I
was
don't
alright.
like it.
First
I
one
agree
was
with
really
Joe.
good.
First one was
First one was
brilliant.
a really good film.
First one was brilliant.
But yeah, Taken 3 has a new title. Can you guys guess what it is?
Snatched. Took. No, it's been done. Yeah, took.
Given. Getting back.
Swiped.
Gone.
Pinched.
I'll find you.
This could go on
pinched.
for a while.
Is it pinched?
Taken 3.
I bet it's pinched.
Gone.
Nicked.
God.
Nicked.
Taken 3. Taken her.
Old Liam Neeson loses his wallet.
Taken 3.
It could have been you.
Took
It could have
again.
been your story of like, oh, I've lost my wallet. I need to get
Found. Is it called found?
found.
It's not found.
They've
Don't
taken
worry, it's been found, everybody.
was whatever I
The
lost.
little girl.
Yeah, my little
Daughter.
girl,
She's been found.
daughter,
Oh, brilliant.
auntie, wife, whatever I lost. I don't know.
If you like Taken 1 and Taken
can't-
2, you're going to love found.
He can't have much left, really, can he?
His virginity.
Would you say it's Liam Neeson's face?
No, because he will find you.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
you're breathing,
it-
dog.
It does, fishy.
Fucking hell.
So, Taken 3 has officially been renamed Takthrin.
Oh, I know they put the number in the word.
No!
T-A-K-3-N.
No.
I'll agree with you. I will pronounce the number in that fucking word. I hate when they do that.
See, but the thing is that they've likened it to other movies that have the same sort of inspiration, like
13.
Seven.
Yeah.
7, but
Seven
the V
Evan,
is a
that.
7.
Yeah.
Seven.
Has he lost his hearing
Oh,
aid
no,
or something
seven.
in this
yeah,
one?
so 7 then.
Has he lost
Seven.
Has he lost his hearing aid?
It doesn't give any plot details or
And they're
anything.
on the phone talking and he's like, I can't find you because I can't hear you.
I will find you when I can hear you. Speak up! I can't hear you. Liam Neeson's not that old.
No, he's not, is he?
It's only 20. Just had a
He's had a hard life,
yeah,
hasn't he?
really hard life lesson.
Hard Northern Irish life. So, yeah, that doesn't really fill me with confidence, the fact that the movie's called Take 3.
It's
There's
Liam
no-
Neeson's
there's nothing
in it.
about it.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's in it.
There's
Have you
nothing
seen the
about it,
poster
like-
for it? It
No,
was,
I
a
haven't.
shot. It's just like a silhouette shot of him from the back, and he was looking out over something orangey. It was like, is it something in flames? Is it a sunset? I don't fucking know.
He's looking for the
Something
perfect
orange.
sunset.
I will find you and I will enjoy you.
And right at the end he finds it and he just cries, a little tear comes down his eye. Imagine that. It's perfect.
Then he gets a phone call and just says, Dad.
What you looking at this party? I was like,
I think you're onto something. Contact Hollywood.
Yeah. Shit. Let's
Again.
finish off the franchise with a nice sunset and a single tear
Yeah, but
rolling
then the next
down
one will be Taforkin.
to fucking taken again
to five.
to Fivekin.
Yeah,
This could go on
I must admit,
forever.
you've stuck on another one of my things that annoy me is letters being substituted for or whatever way round you want to call it. Numbers for letters.
Well, yeah, it
This
kind of works
list-
with like Too Fast, Too Furious, because you just substituting the word two with the number two, or cradle to the grave, or
It worked in Phantasm 4 because they used Roman numerals and it was Phantasm Oblivion. It's like, the IV's in the Oblivion. Yeah, that'll
That's
do.
good.
But yeah, 7 or C7N
Yeah.
doesn't work. TAC3N doesn't really work. TAC3N. Anybody interested in watching that at all? I think I will watch
See, I'm
it.
quitting while I'm ahead. I've seen the first one, it was brilliant. I don't want to see it
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know if you'd enjoy the second one.
I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all.
I don't know anyone that does.
Oh, I thought it was alright.
Yeah. Oh.
It's Liam Neeson being a badass.
I know one person that does.
Yeah, but then it was his improbable daughter doing stuff that was, it was just dumb. It didn't.
Never mind. I got some X-Men Days of Future Past news. Came out in May. I think we all liked it / loved it. I loved it. Thought it was great.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm not sure where I
the
put.
news come out in May, so this is a bit fucking.
Yeah, the news come out in May. The movie is a big hit. No, the movie came out in May. We all watched it, all loved it / liked it. I don't know where to place it in the Guardians, Captain America, Days of Future Past kind of thing, because they each had their own individual qualities about them. Like Guardians was just like so much fun. Captain America was just like hella badass with all the fights and stuff, and Days of Future Past like felt more perilous to me, and it had that kind of time travel and Wolverine and Jennifer Lawrence and stuff.
Yeah.
So the next one I'm waiting for.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. News comes out about that all the time, but it's basically like speculation. But the news about X-Men Days of Future Past is they did shoot quite a few scenes with Anna Paquin, aka Rogue, and spoiler alert, you do see her arrive in the Xavier's School of Mutants and Talented, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And you see her at the end, you're a bit like, why did she just randomly turn up? That's like no use to the story. Apparently they shot a load of scenes with her, but Bryan Singer decided that they weren't really, they were surplus to requirements basically. They didn't really need to be in there, it just would have made it a bit longer. It's quite a long movie anyway. But what they're doing with the DVD and Blu-ray, which comes out on October 14th, they are doing an extended cut with all those scenes back in it, so it could potentially shape the movie a bit differently, which I think's quite cool.
As long as they do a better job than they do when they released X-Men 1.5. Did you see that cut of it?
Probably, but I don't
It had
know
the
what it
deleted
had.
scenes reinserted, but the look of the film was different in those shots, and it was like, it just felt weird. It wasn't a natural progression. It was almost like a jump to that bit of film and jumping
really?
back out. Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't a smooth transition. It was like, yeah, that's shit.
Well, all the stuff with Rogue would have been in what was the future with like future Professor X as Patrick Stewart, or the other way around, sorry, Ian McKellen and all that kind of business, and they will go and find and do their own adventure. So I think it will cut more back to the future stuff, which they didn't do, which I was quite pleased about. They didn't kind of go back and forth, going, hey, Wolverine's just stabbed a guy, how's it changed history? They kind of said it in like, as soon as Wolverine wakes up, that's when history will be changed, that's when the past will be affected. They weren't like, hey, Wolverine's woke up naked, let's
a clever
change the
move.
future.
It's because time travel films get very confusing
Yeah,
very
they
easy,
can,
so
yeah,
they
really.
keep that simple as possible
yeah.
while still making it interesting.
So I'm just wondering whether this new cut will ruin the flow of that, because I quite liked how it was like, right, we're going to go into the past and let's just stay there until the outcome happens mostly. There were a few bits to kind of build tension and be like, oh shit, it's going to happen. Well, Wolverine stabbed, what's her face? Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he stabbed her! And stuff like that, so that's my dramatic voice. Oh my god! And in my final bit of news, still relating to superheroes, everybody here knows and loves Terry Gilliam, right?
Yep.
Well, apparently...
Sorry, creature chair. I apologise.
Apparently, Terry Gilliam thinks superheroes are replacing religion. Now, he's saying that like it's a bad thing.
Well, Thor is a god anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But he was quoted as saying, I was walking in New York yesterday on the way to another interview. There on the streets were all these comic book covers and images for sale. It's taken over. I mean, the church is a dying thing. which, is that bad or good? I don't know.
Couldn't give a shit. By the way.
But comics and Marvel
Go
are
away,
everything now, aren't they? Don't they have all the answers to our lives? Aren't they the figures that we want to copy and be like and aspire to? They don't relieve us when we're in trouble. But some
when
would
I
probably
aspire
say...
to be like a superhero, it's not because of their moral standards or obligations. It is literally because I want that badass power to be able to fly around or punch people I
Even
don't
if
like
it
in
is
the
a
face with
normal,
head guns.
a non-superhero hero, like, I'm sure a lot of people would just be like, yeah, it'd be pretty badass to be Batman.
I don't think that's anything to do with superhero movies now, because as a kid, everyone would play. You'd play like something Superman or something like
you
that.
would.
No one ever went, come on, let's go and play Christ.
Well, tell us what school you went in.
Well, yeah, but then like, right, we've told you not to nail Timmy to the tree. Sorry.
Where'd you find that wine? I turned it from water. No, you didn't, you little shit. Take it back to the store. Sorry.
Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah.
Sorry, miss.
And that bread and fish as well. Take it back. Oh.
Leave that Samaritan alone.
He's trying to heal me. Get away from him. Terry Gilliam was also quoted as saying, I like Batman, but you don't want to believe in him. I fucking believe in
do.
Batman. Batman's awesome.
But I don't
He's the
want.
hero this town needs.
Yeah, not the one we deserve.
But I don't want to believe in religious crap either. So
See, that's the thing, like, I guess, I don't know, I mean, out of the
I didn't
whole...
realise he was religious.
Well, I haven't really read through the article that
he's getting a bit
in-depthly.
curmudgeonly in his old age. Is he forgetting he's technically done a superhero movie with Brazil? That's about a guy who was imagined he's a superhero.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess this whole thing is like now, because of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC stuff coming out, it's literally everywhere, it's plastered everywhere. There's 3 or 5 movies coming out a year with superheroes, people are buzzing, there's Comic-Con, there's all this kind of stuff. And he's just a bit like, whoa, where's Christ in all this? And they're like, psh, give a shit, Batman.
but if God did look like Stan Lee,
Have you seen the man who goes around as Batman? He's a welder in Japan. Have you not seen
Yeah,
that?
I've seen that, yeah.
When they're on a bike, he's got the bike and that as well.
Well, the thing is, I found out about that because there was an article posted on Facebook, and when like the BBC covers stories in Japan, you always have like the actual
animations. Don't you?
No, you have the
like
actual
that.
news presenter in Japan. Be like, konnichiwa, anybody? And
I'm badly done for.
and then it'd be like the guy,
okay,
then the
that one,
BBC presenter would be like, here, this is Batman, blah 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 blah, and then it showed a picture of the guy being Batman, and he's talking to the camera, and then the voiceover artist comes and he's like, I'm Batman. He's like doing the actual Batman voice. It's like, that's absolutely brilliant. It's like taking it to the next step. It's not just being like, hey, yeah, I made this outfit and I go around on a cycle. It's like,
That's amazing.
I made this all myself.
That made me laugh. That made me laugh. Yeah.
It's like you got to inject a little bit of humour into these things.
If Terry Gilliam thinks there's too many superheroes and not enough Jesus, he should watch Ultra Christ.
Yeah?
Yeah, superhero Jesus.
If he's trying to get away from superheroes, surely.
Yeah, but then if Jesus is a superhero,
Covering both bases.
yeah. There you go.
So, have we talked about this before?
I have mentioned Ultra Christ before, yeah.
Alright, I wasn't sure if this is like a new revelation.
I just want to put it in there again.
You just love mentioning
I just like the word Ultra Christ.
I like the superhero Christ in Super. Is it? In Super. He's watching the films, isn't he? It is Super, isn't it? Is it Super?
Is it?
Oh, it was. It's one of them films.
Ultra Christ?
No, and there's like.
Buddy Christ.
Well, saying about something similar to Super, I was going to mention that on 3 films I've watched this week. One of them, Sean's favourite, Big Man Japan.
Oh, Jesus. Did you hate it as much as I did again?
I loved it, so...
What was it? Don't wait.
Big Man Japan.
Oh, I thought you were saying this.
Let's will link into what Joe was talking about the superhero thing. I watched Outlander.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Caviezel?
Yeah, that's one.
Hey?
However
That's
you pronounce his
perfectly
name.
pronounced. Yeah.
Thingy Caviezel. Went to Jesus in Passion.
Passion
Mel
of
Gibson.
Christ.
Yeah.
Not Mel Gibson was not Jesus.
And then the superhero related movie I watched was Defendor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
brilliant.
an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Fucking
great
excellent
film.
film. And also got a slightly downbeat ending.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I always get Super.
Spoiler alert, he dies. So,
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
always get Super and Defendor mixed up because they're both sort of a bit like stupid, and they're a bit like, hey, I'm a superhero. But I guess with Super, his was more brought on by like a traumatic experience, whereas
Yeah.
Defender's just a fucking retard.
Yeah, he's a bit mentally challenged, but he did have a bit of issues with his childhood and
Yeah.
stuff.
Can someone help me with this film because it's annoying me? I'm sure it's one of them superhero films. It's like watching, like on the TV, it's like a super Christ guy and there's tentacle porn and it all comes out the telly at him and stuff when he's dreaming.
What the hell have you been watching, Joe?
No, you've all seen it. You've all
When you
seen
said
it.
tentacle porn, I was
Seriously.
thinking
Superhero
Archer.
film where someone's watching
Yeah, you've
Super
seen
Jesus
it.
on telly and
No,
there's tentacle
you've
porn.
seen it, seriously.
Right, I'm going to go on the internet.
Don't Google tentacle porn for
Right.
Jesus Christ.
It's just annoying me.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Jesus and tentacle porn.
Jesus.
It's flicking through the
Christ.
channels and that's what's on, like manga.
Tentacle porn.
And then there's...
Oh.
What is it?
God attacking Japan because of tentacle porn?
It's just, you've seen it. I know you've all seen it and I can't remember what it is.
Pornography, a distortion of God's plan?
Distortion of God's plan.
What, superhero movie?
Jesus Christ, tentacle porn, superhero movie. Man, I bet not many people have typed that shit in.
That's a film I'd like to see.
Super!
Yeah, I said that. I said it earlier. That's what I'm
I
talking about.
don't remember it.
That's
I
what
thought you
said.
did, and then you went,
see,
no,
I
it's
thought
not
I was- No, yeah, no, Sean
I
was
think I
like,
remember
no.
what you're on
And then
about.
I was like,
Where the fuck
I
does
was
tentacle
sure I
porn
said-
come
Yeah,
from?
no, there was. Because he's flicking through his channels and he dreams about it. And it all comes out the telly.
I don't know.
He's watching like, yeah, seriously. And then they're all like attacking him and stuff. And he's freaking out.
I don't remember.
Sounds like a family-friendly
Seriously,
affair.
go
Well,
back,
you
go
didn't
back
put
and
that
watch
in
it.
Guardians,
Go
did
back
you?
and watch it and you go, oh, that's, yeah, I remember that.
Why didn't
Yeah.
you put that in Guardians? What's going on?
That's why I was just like, well, I'm sure it was that.
Yeah, you're right, Joe, but I just literally couldn't remember that bit. I don't remember, the bits I remember is just Kevin Bacon and Rainn Wilson just being super.
And, what's her name?
Ellen Page.
So you've all seen Defendor then?
Yeah.
Defender's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I saw on Netflix and I was like,
watched it,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll give it
Yeah,
a go.
we did.
Watched it.
It
I
was
thought
you-
it's probably going to be
somebody
one of
told us,
those,
wasn't it? And we watched
those
it.
silly
Because I
kind
think
of...
I watched it before I watched Super.
And I love that he believes in
Yeah.
himself, bless him, and because he's a bit.
Yeah,
like,
he's just a bit mentally
Yeah.
challenged.
Hang on, did we all watch it round here, Joe?
Yeah, I think the three of us watched it, and I think it may have been you who told us to watch it.
Oh, okay.
No, I think I'd seen it before
Was
and I
it,
watched it
no,
with you
it
guys
may have been
again.
you then who said it. You said, let's
Yeah.
watch it or something. Someone told us, so me and Chud watched it, and you watched it with us, I think.
Yeah.
But you've not seen Outlander.
No.
Outlander.
I've seen it come up on Netflix and I started
Outlander.
watching it, but I never got
So it's
Outlander.
a medieval sci-fi film in a way.
Yeah.
A guy's his spaceship crashes in medieval Europe, where they all speak English, even though it says the language is Norse. But anyway, we'll gloss over that.
And then Thor style English.
No, it's not. They're just normal. They just speak as normal.
They say,
pretty
get
much.
me that thing,
Yeah.
wench.
There's no like, no, verily the mead is spicy or anything like that.
This drink is a bit spicy.
But there was an alien on board his ship, and it gets out, and he's trying to hunt it down. People are a bit like, who the fuck's this guy? Take him to their village, and then they start getting picked off by the beastie, and he'll have to team up and kill it off. And it's all right. I quite liked it. It's not brilliant, but it's enjoyable.
When's it from? Like what year or whatever?
It's not that old, is it?
2006, maybe.
Is it like Highlander?
No.
No.
That's instantly what I thought. I was like, Highlander, but out, not high.
Lowlander.
3D version of Outlander. You don't go up or down, you go forward.
Inlander.
Backlander.
I thought it was alright. Yeah, Jim Caviezel,
Yeah.
whatever his fucking name is.
Jesus. Just call him Jesus.
Jesus Caviezel. No, that
Kavizzle.
Just call him
Just Kavizzle.
Just call him Jesus
Jim
Jim.
Jesus.
Jim Jesus.
Jim.
Tell him by his gangster name, Jay Caviezel.
Oh, very good.
Anybody else watched anything? I'm sure I've watched something. I just can't remember what I've watched. I've fallen into a Netflix trap. You know, where you put something on to try it out, and then you just find yourself stuck there. You're a bit like, I don't know if I'm really enjoying this, but I'll put another one on. Have you guys ever heard of Parks and Recreation?
It's come up on. I saw it today. Actually, I haven't watched any, but it came up on, the main recommendation.
No, I don't know what that
And the main selling point for me is that it's got Chris Pratt in it, and like after watching the Lego Movie and Guardians, and just thinking he seems like such a cool guy, I just thought I'd give it a shot. It's also got a couple of guys from the American Office, which I quite enjoyed as well. And there's a guy. Have you heard of Nick Offerman?
Rings a bell.
He's like he looks like a sort of a straight-laced American guy, and he's got like a really thick mustache. I think he's been a cop in like something. He was maybe in like Jump Street or something. Oh, I don't know. I can't quite remember what he's in.
I know you.
But
mean.
he's
the
in
older,
it, and
the older guy.
It's not like really old, but he just His face just makes me laugh.
If it is Daniel Radcliffe.
He just sort of sits there and he's just like, I'm like a serious kind of guy, but I'm pretty funny with a badass
The
mustache.
guy who does the memes.
Sure, he went
and
like
that.
Super Troopers or something.
Mainly does memes and things.
I recognise him.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a pretty good beard in that picture.
Oh, right, he looks vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Find out what he's been in, Chad.
He has been in.
Oh, he was in Jump Street, yeah, 21 Jump Street. And We're the Millers. But I don't remember him in that.
I can't remember much.
Oh, I think he was like the.
Was he the
there was
friend?
A couple,
Yeah,
weren't
the
there?
friends
They
with
tried
the
to
meat.
like swing him
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I think
He's
he
in
was.
the Lego movie as well.
Is he?
Yeah, Metal Beard.
Oh, he's a pirate. Oh, cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Excellent.
So he's like him and Chris Pratt are like the main reasons that I'm kind of still watching it. Like I'm not blown away by it. I don't laugh at everything. There's a few things, you know, you just like, yeah, that's quite funny. But I'm sort of stuck in this Netflix thing. It's like I can't go back to browse because it's like, oh, I'll just watch the next episode. They're like 20 minutes. You just stick them on. Like we were saying about BoJack Horseman and Archie, just kind of pop it on. And it's got a couple of ladies in there. Do you know Rashida Jones?
No.
Or Aubrey Plaza?
That's a place.
Hey?
That's a place, isn't it?
and a female as well.
Honey, we really like this
So
place.
you can say you've been in Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza
Let's name that child that.
is from... she was in a movie called Safety Not Guaranteed. No? She was also in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She was the coffee girl who swears all the time.
Yeah.
That girl. Quite hot. And yeah, so that's kind of keeping me watching it.
Oh,
but,
right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think out of the people here, Joe might like it. Chad would probably be like, that's alright, Mark, you won't like it. So
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I've had the opposite lately. I can't find fuck all to watch on
Yeah,
Netflix.
but that's the
What's
thing,
good?
it's like
I
you
try
just-
horror films and they're shit, and I just
Yeah.
can't. When I just stop watching them because they're just
I
terrible.
watched Bloodsport before I went to work. When I started work
Yeah,
at
that's
11,
classic.
I had some breakfast and I didn't know what else to do. I was
Spin
like-
kicking bread,
So,
weren't
so I
you?
put on Bloodsport. It's
Is that
such
the
a
one-
strange
No,
movie
no,
to
it
watch
ain't
for
that
you.
one.
Actually, remind me, was you working yesterday?
It is that one.
Yes.
Did you set off the fire? There was a
No.
fire alarm.
No, that was the guy in the shower, unfortunately. They said
Putting water on him and he sets off a
they
fire!
said apparently the steam from the shower set up
yeah.
How hot was his
But I was
shower?
aware that Amy was
Unfortunately, the
shopping.
poor guy.
Did he
like,
have skin when he
he
emerged
had
from the
to,
shower?
We all went out into the car park. He had to go out in the tiniest little towel. He stood there in
He
front
looked
of
like a fucking
everybody.
raisin.
After I was Amy if she noticed that, because she was there and she was like, oh, I was getting me shopping and the alarm went off. I wonder if Chud burnt the cookies. So I'm like, I'll ask her.
Prune.
I don't know if burnt the cookies is like a euphemism.
I did look around the bakery and say, oh shit, what have I done?
I'll let her know. I
Too
don't have
busy.
to let her know, she'll hear the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
You
we
didn't
got
do
a
it.
listener.
I feel quite hurt that she.
It's because you're too busy, like, being Jean-Claude Van Damme, getting two, like,
No.
chairs and trying to do the splits on them
Is
and
that the
stuff
one where he
like that.
throws the shit in his eyes?
Yeah. It wasn't shit though. Just to verify it wasn't
He's
turd.
like, and he's, "Ooh."
Yeah. It's like his first movie, I think it was.
That's a great film.
It is actually
Great
quite
film.
good.
Is it actually a
Cheesy.
great film, though? Like,
It's one of those films that is.
AWOL's great.
It's cheesy in that 80s sense,
Yeah,
but it is
yeah, that's
actually
it, back
quite
in the day.
good.
yeah, no, I just want to know if it's like movies that I watched, you know, in the 90s or 80s, like, I'm like, yeah, it's a great movie,
yeah.
but if I watched it again now, I'd be like, yeah, it's not
It's
so
a
great.
I don't think it was a
Tournament
big
fighting
film then, was
films,
it?
you know.
It wasn't a big film then,
I
was it?
don't think so.
Because AWOL as well was good.
Yeah, that's not as good as Bloodsport.
I've started watching this film called Pontypool. You heard of it?
yeah, I quite like Pontypool.
Oh, I haven't. I've only
The radio
start,
station.
Start watching the start, so I'm thinking. I make if you're saying it's not bad, I make.
I quite liked it.
Keep with it.
It's odd. It's
Keep with it.
basically
Yeah.
it looks like it's a zombie outbreak thing, but it's all.
I don't know yet. I'm not even got that far. I'm
Yeah.
just on the radio, so
They
that's
all
just
die.
start.
Well, it gives that
Yeah.
appearance, but it's a
Yeah.
whole.
It's all a
I just-
dream.
I just
It's-
watched,
it's
I
a
just watched the
different-
start. I've only watched the start.
It's
so-
an
Honey
interesting
badgers.
take on what causes like a madness, if you like,
Yeah.
rather than being a virus or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
trying
like,
to check it out.
yeah, it's quite clever. I quite liked it. I know, Mr. Liv, your homework thing. Are you still been watching Game of Thrones, or have you not mentioned that? or-
I've watched, well, we sort of half mentioned it when
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
said
we
he didn't
go
do his homework. I've watched 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to watch them every Tuesday, so it's going to be a little bit, you know, it'd be handy if I could watch them before we did the podcast, then it'd be fresh in my memory,
yeah,
but the last
yeah.
episode I watched was literally a week ago, over a week ago. I'm sort of doing it one by one, haven't really made that kind of transition into wanting to watch it all the time, so it's literally like, you set aside a time, and it's almost like watching it when it comes on TV.
I think I might have been like that with season 1. I was kind of like enjoying it, and I watched it one after the other because I had the time. But now I've got more and more hooked as it's gone along, and now I'm like, I have to watch it as soon as it's out.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. There's definitely a couple of characters that I want to keep along with.
The imp.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is fucking awesome.
Dinklage is pretty good.
Dinklage.
I like the whole Jon Snow kind of bastard child thing. I think that could develop pretty nicely. I like, I can't remember the type of people, but Jason Momoa.
Oh,
is
the Targaryens?
Targaryens
Yeah.
or whatever. He's just, I don't know, don't really say anything. He just nails that girl,
Quite,
and he's
yeah,
just
quite a
awesome.
presence, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you just. I'm envious of you. Just yeah.
The thing you need
your
to remember
awesome
about
beard,
Game of
your long-
Thrones is
Don't get too attached.
don't get
to it,
attached
yeah.
to anybody because good chance they won't be there soon. It's not that long down the line. You're like,
Yeah, and
fuck.
I'm not like a follower. I don't like read spoilers or listen to anything
Yeah,
or
no.
read any things. But Joffrey has been introduced, and I think he's quite a.
He's a little fuck.
Yeah, I think you
I haven't
mentioned
even
it
seen
before.
it, and I've heard about this Joffrey.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I don't like him.
but basically he's sort of been introduced as like a bit of a fuck kind of character. So
There
I
is,
can imagine he's going to be one you're going to be like,
You just hate
just
him, yeah.
fucking. Ah!
There's an
You know that
episode
one
with,
in
I
the mist?
can't remember what it is, someone buys him they give him a crossbow or something as a present, and then he's like, oh, I'll send a whore up to my room, and then later on you go in there and he's just got a like pinned to the bedpost where he's been shooting with a crossbow, and you're like, wow, you're a little bastard.
Yeah, and in episode 2 there was a lot of sort of dog and wolf action, which was quite cool. I was like, hey, that's a cool little dog. That's a vicious little bastard. And then
That's the enormous direwolf.
then at the end, Sean Bean has to do what he has to do. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but
I think everybody already knows, even I know. I haven't seen it.
Ah.
I don't know nothing about it.
George like, what's Game of
Well,
Thrones?
the reason I brought it up is because I've been watching a few more episodes of The Strain. I think
Okay,
we've
right.
watched 6 now. Still loving it. It's one of those because Amy and I are watching it together. I can't marathon it, and
Okay, yeah.
we watched.
That's the same with me in Game of Thrones. That's why I'm not watching
I
episode
mentioned
after
it.
episode.
I mentioned it Strain to Jo, she seems my girlfriend.
Yeah,
You're not me.
No, not him.
Did you mention it to me?
I'm really enjoying it.
She's interested in watching it as well.
We watched 2 episodes Sunday night. I'm like, shit, I really want to watch more. It's just a shame. Like, shit, it's tired. We're late. It's late. We're tired. And like, fuck it, it's so good. You're like, oh damn, I don't want to know what happens next. Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that.
Cool. You have to keep us updated.
Yeah, I think it's 2 more episodes. I think episode 11 has just aired. Well, by the time the podcast's out, episode 12 is probably
Okay.
just aired. Yeah, I said season last week instead of episode. I realised.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's a bit
episode
like
12 airs this. Will have aired by the time this podcast is out in the States, but we'll be on number 3 here. But yeah, it's really, really good, and I'm hoping it'll keep going and do all. I've not read the books, but it's one of those that's making me think, yeah, I'll give the books a shot.
Alright.
But at the same time, maybe after the series, I don't want this. I won't read Game of Thrones as well because I don't want to spoil what I'm really enjoying.
Yeah. With The Mist, already seen the movie.
Yeah.
I know it's a fucking depressing ending. I can watch the book and relive that horror. Anyway, so that's kind of the movie portion out of the way. We kind of delved in about certain different topics and whatnot. So, Chud, have you got a list that we can listen
Right.
to you?
I've got a
Pardon me.
choice for you.
Oh, choice!
You've got
a list
choice.
of lists!
You've got a very short list of lists. You've got choice 2.
Oh, okay.
Right, list.
So you're kind of stealing my thunder here, giving the options of, picking and choosing.
It's only 2, it's not 3, so.
Oh, that's alright then.
Completely different.
Completely different. Multiple choice.
Saying
That's
about
what
that,
it's
just to interrupt briefly, have you seen there's a woman trying to sue Disney over
Yeah,
Frozen?
Frozen, yeah, I heard
She's
that.
saying that they've stolen
her life or something.
from her. Yeah, that she's written some books based on her life, and she's saying that Disney have basically ripped her off, and she's found like 18 similarities. Like she had a sister who had an injury or something as a child. And there was 2 people in it with the same name, and I'm like, yeah, but you didn't have fucking singing snowmen, did
Don't
you?
they do that disclaimer at the end? So any characters contained within this.
Purely coincidental.
And you know what Disney
She's trying to,
says?
her thing is what she wants is $250 million
Not a lot, then.
and all copies of the film to be withdrawn.
Wow.
Ain't
Don't want
gonna
much
happen,
then.
is it?
least
It's
she's
not
not
going to
being-
fucking happen.
Yeah, at least she's not being greedy.
Yeah.
And you know what Disney said to her? Jeez,
Fuck
let
off.
it go.
Oh, very good.
Let it
very
go.
good.
Ah! I haven't even seen it. I just know that that's the thing.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt there, John.
Right. My list of lists. So you've got a choice of.
List of lists. He's got a list. He's gonna read it out. Da da da. Is it 10? Is it 14? Who knows? It's Judd.
Well.
It'll be a different theme tune every week, Chud. Just for you.
Right, list number 1 is top 10. Is 10
Yeah.
best longest movies.
Best longest
Best
movie.
longest movies.
Yes.
What's your best longest movie?
Yeah.
Or the longest best
And
movie.
the second list is not necessarily movie related. It is 44
Oh, Jesus Christ.
TV shows that defined every British person's childhood.
Top 10.
The other one's
Can't be
too long.
asked for 44.
Yeah.
Maybe if we do an
Although
extended
I reckon
podcast.
the 44 is
Right,
quite,
so
it's quite a good list.
this is the longest movies we've gone for, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, I'll say
Some
definitely...
Some sort of Lord of the Rings.
No, you have to
action.
remember that actually this list
Right.
is done. It's not done in the longest movie is number 1. It's like
So it's the best, longest movie. Like, this
Yeah.
movie's long and it's good.
yeah.
So you can have like Red Cliff, I guess, would be in there because the full cut, the full version of that was like 6 hours.
I'm gonna say this now. A lot of these films, or a good majority
Titanic.
of them, are quite old movies.
Titanic.
Oh right,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's not.
That was a long
I've
one.
got time for all
Damn.
that.
So I'd have gone for Red Cliff
There is
being
one-
at 6 hours.
there's
or something,
one-
but-
Das Boot.
There's one particular one that I'm surprised it's not in it, but I'll start. All right, number
Okay.
10, Cleopatra, clocking in at 248 minutes.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Is a fucking that's
Yeah.
what, nearly 4 hours. Is that what is it?
What's the maths
Four
here?
hours and a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
It's 4 hours and 8 minutes. Did you say 248?
yeah. I'm gonna expect you to do this for all these.
But because maths is my worst subject.
Well, it's better
You
than
did that
us.
pretty
Yeah.
fucking
We're sitting there going 1, 2, 24 hours in a
I ain't got
day,
enough fingers.
60
Fuck.
minutes in an hour.
Let me just get on my
66
toes.
yeah. What's
get
an
on my
hour?
Coming in at number 9, another old film, Ben-Hur.
All right, yeah.
At
Ben-Hur.
212 minutes, not Bender.
Bender.
The porno remake.
So sort of 3.5 hours. Yeah.
So yeah.
Number 8, the only entry from this franchise, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, in at 201 minutes.
So multiple fucking endings, weren't it?
Yes, true.
Yeah.
That's what done
They
it.
didn't count the extended version.
The film was actually only 90 minutes long. The other
And then,
10
does that
minutes.
include the credits as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. The next film I'd never heard of, called Giant.
No.
It's 201 minutes. Again, it was another old. I think it's a western with James Dean.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know.
Now I'm just thinking, a lot of our homework comes off of your list, Shud. Are we going to start like picking movies? You're going to be like, didn't watch it, it's too bloody long, couldn't sit there for 4 hours watching Cleopatra.
Number 6, The Ten Commandments.
I was going to say there'd be something. Yeah,
220 minutes long.
yeah
So
really.
that's another.
Just to read 10 things out.
Don't kill, don't steal.
Yeah.
Number 5 is I think it's Denzel.
Don't covet your neighbour's goat.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington in Malcolm X, which was 200
That's a
minutes.
good, great film. Yeah.
Number 4, Hamlet as the longest. No, it's not the longest. Actually, Cleopatra's 242 minutes, which
Okay.
again is not something I'd watch.
Nah.
Number 3, Gone with the Wind in 221
Yeah,
minutes.
wouldn't. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Some of these are like pretty old films.
Yeah, I thought these were meant to be good movies.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I have the other list.
Number 2.
Yeah. It's too late to change now, Shud.
No, number 1's pretty good. Number 2, Lawrence of Arabia, 222 minutes.
okay.
That's another. Number 1, which I personally thought part 1 was better, but The Godfather, part 2.
Yeah, very long.
Only 200 minutes. Actually, one of the shortest
Oh, right.
movies on this list.
Okay, now I thought that was a long one. I'm
I
gonna
was
hate them
really
others.
surprised that Once Upon a Time in America wasn't on there, because that's an epic film and massively long as well.
I can't remember.
I think the original cut was between
Once
8 and 10
Upon a
hours.
Time in
They cut it down to
America.
6 hours, intending to do
Oh right,
2
yeah,
movies.
the you ever rubbed near on the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, and the Jewish and that name or whatever.
Yeah, they cut it down.
Oh, that's what I'm getting.
Great
Yeah, I was
film.
getting confused with Once Upon a Time in the West. That's what I was mixing up in
That's
my brain.
great.
Yeah.
It's a great film. It's like that really good.
Yeah,
film.
Once Upon a Time in America is definitely a film to check out if you like your games.
So I would have thought Red Cliff.
Yeah,
'Cause that was
yeah,
6
I've
hours.
got it.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
It used
yeah.
to- that is a long film because it used to come on Sky Movies and they split it up on Sky Movies. That film, that Once Upon a Time, it was show the whole
Well, on the
thing.
DVD, it's got an intermission on the fucking. You're watching a movie on DVD, and you know you got a pause button, but no,
Yeah.
it comes out. It's pretty much telling you to go get some ice cream,
Crazy, yeah.
go to the toilet.
But this film's really fucking long. Yeah,
Yeah,
just get up and
just a
stretch your
minute.
legs because you're gonna
But
get fucking deep
I was
pain.
really
both.
when I read about it, I was quite like good that they never released the full,
Yeah.
6 hour version of the movie.
Because Because Redcliffe did both, didn't they? They done
I
like
don't know,
a
Redcliffe.
2-hour version, and then they done the full length.
It's your homework next time, Chud. 6 hours of Redcliffe.
I could do that.
Can you give
Yeah, I
us
could actually.
on the other list? What's the top 5?
What, the other list?
Or something.
Granger.
Quick.
No, you got to leave.
Yeah, I just wanted to be real quick.
Sure.
What we grew up with.
Actually, to be honest,
What
this
we grew
44
up
list
with.
I could get through really quickly.
All right. What we grew up with. Just
I think too many lists for this this podcast. You're gonna have to save for next week, guys. You're gonna have to tune in to volume 29. Leave it on a cliffhanger. Suspense. Anyway, I want to get my shit in before we get
You
out.
want to do your stories, don't you?
Before we run out of battery.
Yeah, exactly. Every week I bring 3 stories to the table. You guys pick a story we want to chat about, and then we try and have some fun. So this week, my 3 stories are titled The Man, the Dog, the Cane. Number 2 is called Always Look on the Bright Side of Leg Amputation. And the 3rd and final story is called The Pub Shank Redemption. See, I named them this week rather than just...
2 or 3.
2 or 3 for
Number
me,
1
yeah.
didn't really catch me.
I like 3 for me. So that's between you two. That's a 3.
I'm happy to go with your choice of 3. That's
Go
fine.
on then, number 3.
Okay, so you want to go for the Pub Shank Redemption.
Yes.
Lamb shank.
What?
Lamb shank. I'm just trying to guess it.
Pub Shank.
Pub and lamb.
Rorschach.
Lamb shank. Lamb, like,
Rorschach
like
Redemption.
food at pub. That's what I'm trying to say basically.
No, that would be a
Lamb
movie
shank.
I'd say.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Yeah, Rorschach. It'll be the same film, just be in prison with his Rorschach mask.
Well, of course, this story comes from America, and it tells the story of a man from Omaha who got inspired by the movie Shawshank Redemption one night and decided to tunnel from his bedroom to the nearest pub with various instruments such as a spoon, etc.
Did he die?
He basically, he's a plumber and he tunnelled a hole from under his bed to the local pub 800 feet from his house.
What's his name?
Over a course of 15 years. His name's Patsy Kerr.
That
just waited for
inspiration
Morgan-
lasted a long time. Normally for me
Morgan
it's a
Freeman now.
fleeting moment.
You know
Morgan
what?
Freeman to
Yeah.
narrate it though and be like, Patsy Kerr tunneled 800 feet for God knows what kind of shit to get to the pub.
You know what? I'm drunk. What's a really good idea? Let's make a tunnel. Oh, I'm fucking sober now. I'm not going to continue.
Yeah, I'll do it
that.
again tomorrow night.
8 years.
Yeah, apparently he's been quoted as saying, the wife, I like the way he's called his wife, the wife.
Why?
The wife has a bad snore on her, and after watching The Shawshank Redemption one night in 1994, I decided to do something about it. So he didn't like murder his wife or, you know, get that sort of snip that you can
Nasal
get in the
strip,
neck. Yeah, a strip, or tell her to stop snoring, not sneezing. He decided to just basically dig a hole under his bed in the direction of the pub. He used
Under
the
his
manner.
bed. So she was
not
asleep
here?
in the bed and he's
I don't.
chiseling away at the floor with a fucking.
Oh,
apparently
she's
it's
snoring so she don't wake up.
Yeah, apparently she's in
in
the deep sleep.
Wait. So he managed to get
Fucking
through. I'm assuming
power drill.
with the floor of his house not being
Jackhammer.
like concrete.
Jackhammer.
No.
I don't know, but
So
probably
he
lived
got
in a-
through a floor with a fucking spoon.
He probably lived in a mud hut or
he
something.
used all manner of tools. It says, I used all manner of tools. Yeah, he's just copying what I said there.
He's quoting you now.
From spoons to heavy-duty tunnel boring machine, I managed to stick.
Well, that's
Did he
not
put-
like Shawshank Redemption.
Did he put some fucking industrial headphones on her head?
He would have done it. If he wanted to do it like the film, he would have done it with a fucking rock hammer.
Yeah.
At least a spork. You know, it's fucking.
Plastic one.
Yeah.
But he
The
didn't.
little wooden fork from the chippy. Oh, fucking hell.
Wooden spoon. But he didn't always do it when she was asleep. Sometimes when she went out to the shops, he had a good tunnelling session. And he says, it wasn't until 2009 that I hit the jackpot and came up through the woman's toilet mop and bucket room.
That's mental.
So was his intent always to get to the pub or just?
I think so, yeah. I think he just basically is like, right, hey wife, let's go to sleep. And she's like, he's like, right, time to go to the pub. And I guess he
He
felt
could
a
have
bit...
robbed the shit out of that pub when it shut.
Yeah. Well, he just wanted a drink. I think.
could have
Yeah. He's like, I
got drunk
don't
everywhere.
care about stealing money. I just want to get away from the wife.
Why don't you just walk?
It
Like,
was only, what was it, 800 feet?
If you have to crawl, that's quite a long way. Isn't it?
Just to go to the
walk.
pub.
See you
Just
there.
gone out of the house.
Get a fucking skateboard or something, some skates.
Well, it depends like how needy and sort of bad his wife is. If he's that bad
If
up
you couldn't
there-
hear it with a fucking drill boring whatever it was, then
A tunnel
If they
boring
genuinely put
machine.
earmuffs on it, like,
Did he have to like? Did he have all the dirt deposited in his pockets and have to walk around the town like shaking his trousers to leave all the gravel everywhere?
Well, Kerr explained how he spent the last 5 years heading to the pub via his tunnel at 11 p.m. before returning at 1 a.m. undetected by his deep sleeping wife.
But in the mop and bucket room, where
Well, obviously, he just
That's
kind
just
of
random, yeah.
immersed up there and then
don't
just
they
walked
clean the
out.
floors and that, and then they just don't ever go in there, so he just got a massive tunnel.
Maybe
Mop
just
and
puts like
bucket
a
room.
bucket over
Yeah.
the top of it.
Yeah,
Just
so
covers-
what? Yeah,
just
they don't,
covers
and they don't use it, so he's like, oh, that's
He just
great.
gets a load of bar mats and he's stuck them all together and just creates a little like...
I'd love to see this
manhole
tunnel,
cover.
to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I'd like to
Yeah.
see this tunnel.
That sounds odd, Chud. You said a manhole cover. In the ladies' toilet's a manhole. Sorry.
Another quote from him said, "To be honest, I was sort of glad I was caught. She was always smelling drink off me in the morning, and I was explaining it away as a natural odour." So basically, he wakes up like drunk and a bit hungover and smelling of alcohol. He's just like, I always smell like that.
Go and ask him in the pub. No one's seen me.
And he must not get no fucking sleep whatsoever, then, really.
Well, he wouldn't have because she's bloody snoring too loud.
That's
So
what I mean,
that'll
but-
go to the pub,
yeah,
innit?
and just get smashed.
what a weird solution to that problem.
That's very strange.
It's
And
like
then for 2
outside
hours
the
a
box.
night, he could just be like, fuck it, I'll just get a PlayStation or something.
Oh, he could
Put his headphones on.
Surely could have walked to the pub. Like, if she's
Yeah.
in that deep of a sleep, surely he didn't have to like bore a hole underneath like the city to get to the pub. He could have just like
There's other-
opened the door really
There's other
quietly.
things you can do, especially in America. Just get a case of beer and sit downstairs.
Yeah, but maybe his wife didn't want him to. She's a bit like.
And that wouldn't have been as interesting story for sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Would it?
Hey, do you want to hear 3 stories?
I'd be easy
Man
for
gets
him
a
to
crate
make
of
a
beer
tunnel
and drinks
for
it.
8 years.
Man goes to pub, doesn't tunnel up through the women's mop and bucket room.
Man buys PlayStation.
Sits,
Enjoy. Plays Wipeout.
Plays.
Good old wiper.
Whilst with a beer. He's also been quoted saying, "But recently I was finding myself singing rebel songs and stuff coming back up the tunnel.
Whistling Great Escape.
And it was only a matter of time before I was caught anyhow. The landlord was also wondering how I was just appearing out of nowhere at the same time every night and disappearing from the women's
Oh, so
toilets."
it was open, he wasn't stealing off it, he was going in there and buying his...
Yeah. He just wanted a little...
did he fucking want that?
Because he wanted to tunnel!
Why?
That's mental.
Because he watched the Shawshank Redemption and wanted to emulate them.
I can just imagine
to
him
the
getting all
pub.
But he looked out the window and thought,
Yeah.
my wife is snoring, I know, 5 years from now I'll need a pint.
That's mental.
The tunnel was finally discovered after the DOE performed a survey on a sewage problem which turned out to be caused by a pipe Kerr had hit accidentally, causing sewage to leak into his tunnel over 5 years.
Oh, and he had to go through that shit, man.
Literally. Get it?
Yeah.
So he's turning up at the... Didn't his wife notice he smelt of booze, but not the fact he smelt of shit?
Well, the thing is,
Got in bed with just shit all over him about that.
the judge questioned Kerr's wife as to why she never smelt the sewage odours from her husband.
Under the bed!
Mrs. Kerr simply shrugged.
Under the bed!
So, hold on.
Under the bed, man. Sewage under your bed. You think you're going to know about
Well,
it?
no, it was leaking in the tunnel, so it wasn't
Yeah,
like...
the odour's going to come
Yeah,
up, surely.
it's-
Yeah, but right, so
Stink.
if he didn't hit that pipe, he may still be doing that now. He would never
He's a
got caught.
shit plumber.
They just thought he was a fucking magician or something.
Yeah.
That's mental. I hope they yeah, I don't know, do tourist things there.
Taurus thing. Come and see the...
Oh.
was it
shit
the
tunnel.
Michigan Tunnel or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Omaha.
Omaha Tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Omaha, home of the shit tunnel.
Literally.
Literally. Yeah.
Physically and emotionally.
That's what I like about roadside attractions. You get crap like that. I saw one. Obviously, they used to be the world's biggest spoon, and now they've changed. They had to paint it because I guess someone's taken over their record, and now it's like the world's biggest purple spoon. Like, wow, really clutching at straws there.
Somebody makes a bigger purple spoon,
Yeah.
they'll be like, the world's biggest purple and green
Purple spoon with green spots.
Well, they just cut some holes. The world's biggest purple sport.
Could you go over the other stories real quick? Yay, nay?
If you really want to.
Hey, I want to do my fun.
Well, basically, the first story, the dog man the cane. Basically, some guy walking down the road, shuffled along with a cane, walked into a neighbour's residence and shot his dog No, started beating his dog with a cane, and then the other guy shot the guy.
Fair enough. Yeah, so they should.
And the second one, I was hoping you guys were going to pick this one. There's a guy in the Netherlands who had his leg amputated, and then tried to preserve it, and he turned it into a lamp and sold it on eBay.
Just like
A lot of money, does it say?
I don't know if he's physically allowed to actually sell it, but he tried to.
his property.
Yeah.
So it's like the less terrifying version.
He listed it on. He listed it on eBay for €100,000, which is $127,000.
He had business savvy.
Everyone's gone into furniture making. He's got no business now. Fucking. I don't know.
Ed Gein's Upholsterers Limited.
Yeah, I think eBay took it down because you're not allowed to sell body parts on the internet.
Says who?
eBay. Don't sell lungs and kidneys on the internet.
That's black market shit, I guess.
Yeah, should have got a black eBay.
Should have black. Oh, that's racist.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very racist.
I've got a little
Phrasing.
sploosh. I've got a little bit of news. I don't know if you guys are going to bring this up about Kevin Smith. Anyone heard this?
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's died. Sorry.
Ah!
No, he's making Clerks 3.
Is he though?
That's what I heard.
I heard he's not now.
Well, I heard today through like a link on Facebook that he's made enough money with the Tusk or something to do it now or something.
Yeah, I think that sounds a lot like bullshit because I don't think he made a lot of money with Tusk. He should have
Or he's made enough, something like that sort of thing.
It's just out and about somewhere.
It's out in America.
It's
It's going to be October in Canada. I don't know whether he said like it's getting released in Russia. It's like when's it coming out in the UK? He's like don't know. Somebody else is doing it. But apparently it didn't do that well in the domestic box offices. But basically he made it for $3 million, and I'm pretty sure he's like made that back already because it's sort of low budget.
Cool if he,
and what he's actually doing is he's called it his True North trilogy.
Yeah, because then it's Yoga Hoses and that.
Yoga Hoses, which is. And then it's going to be Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws, that's it.
Which is basically Jaws but with a moose. And then I think like because he was.
They did Jaws with a tree.
Did they?
Yeah, it's called Tree. I think.
Tree Jaws.
It was a great white pine.
Ah.
And they even kept the bit in the cage. I think the bloke's called Captain Squint instead of Quint. And they still kept the bit with the cage. You have to get in an anti-tree cage.
All right.
So the trees can't hurt him.
But it's not
the
amazing.
dumbest fucking thing ever.
But it's not as amazing as Tree Range, what you showed us.
Oh, it's not as good as Tree Venge.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What's the quote? We're going to need a bigger chainsaw.
Tree Venge was done by the guys who did Hobo with a Shotgun.
It's really, really good.
Anyway, sorry, yeah.
Best tree-based movie in my opinion.
This tree-based movie. Tree Venge.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait to see if Clerks 3 is going to be made. I heard it was being put back because basically he's shooting Yoga Hoses at the moment, and then Moose Jaws, Juice Malls.
What's that about?
Yoga Hoses. I don't really know, but there's a link between all three movies, and all the characters are going to be in them, like Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment.
I'm sure he tweeted something about I've just shot the weirdest thing of my entire life, and it was hashtag Yoga Hoses.
Oh really?
So I'm like, okay,
After
sounds promising.
Tusk, yeah, I guess these sort of building up, next to be like, hey, I just shot like Moose Jaws, like a shark moose thing. And I think Clerks 3 has to go through Miramax, who released 1 and 2, so I think there's like some problems there, and that would be a bigger budget and a more mainstream movie. So
as long as they keep Elias, that's my only thing.
Anyway, so I think that's the podcast for this week. Anyone got any suggestions? Anything we've talked about where homework is concerned?
Homework-wise, yeah.
Chud, you going to watch that 6-hour movie?
Yeah, sure.
Redcliffe.
I've actually got Redcliffe, but I haven't watched it all.
There you go, you can watch it.
I've still never watched Scott Pilgrim, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, I did sort of mention that a little bit. I don't know what you think of that. I think it'd be interesting.
I've seen bits of it. I was around with friends and they had it on in the background,
yeah,
and we were chatting and wasn't really watching it.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's a great. Yeah, it's Edgar Wright.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's basically a computer game. It's got like hella loads of like retro references and stuff, and every time I watch it, I'm just
just crazy.
I always forget about that bit. That's so good.
It's just crazy. It's just so good.
And if you like Michael Cera, then...
I think we've got it on the
Michael Cera.
Skybox actually. I think we recorded it when it came on and still haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah, I recently watched it probably 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
Enjoyed it again. I got the special edition DVD of it, and it gives you all like the nerd references as you go through. It like pops up like this is the sound effect from Sonic the Hedgehog,
right,
and stuff
okay.
like that. And so listen out for a couple of them. So Scott Pilgrim versus
I'm happy
the
with
World.
it, yeah, because you mentioned that. Yeah.
Joe, watch some Game of Thrones, potentially some BoJack Horseman,
Or some of the strain.
some of the Strain.
No,
Any one of
those.
those, or all of them
Yeah.
at the same time.
All different tellies.
Yeah. One on your laptop, one on your phone, one on your
I
iPad.
can do that. I don't know how it works. But...
The Strange Jack Horseman.
Strange Jack
Thrones.
Horseman.
The game of Strange
Game
Jack The game of Strange Jack Horseman. Chud, anything for you? Anything jumped out at you?
Tentacle porn. Tentacle porn.
You seen Super and Defender? Defendor.
Seen Super.
Yeah.
You seen some of Outlander, in you? I didn't.
I haven't watched it all. I've only watched the beginning.
What else is there?
Yeah, watch out.
I could watch Outlander. I like sci-fi. So,
Yeah. It's got Ron Perlman in it, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot, but he's in it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, cool. So, what am I going to watch?
No, who cares?
And that's the podcast for this week.
Oh, I don't know what else we've
What
just.
did he say he's not seen?
You got any homework you catching up on?
I can, but it's always nice to introduce new things.
What are we talking
Preferably
about?
on Netflix, because it's a lot easier to...
Unless you want to go back to something we mentioned a long time ago, because you've still not watched Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, I could do that. That's on Netflix.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Because I think you'll like that.
So that's what we shall do. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Chud is going to watch
Outlander.
I've
Outlander.
got quite a lot.
BoJack
Game of
Horseman, The
Thrones.
Strain, Game of Thrones.
Some sort of
and
TV show.
Mark is going to watch Scott
Avatar.
Pilgrim versus the World. Yeah, Avatar.
You've missed some too, you bitch.
I've caught up on
Yeah, he
one.
caught up.
Oh, did you?
He had like the raids.
Alright, apologise.
Oh, I need to catch up on
Yeah,
stuff, but
fuck you.
anyway, thanks for tuning in to the podcast. As always, you can follow along on social media at ChapterSkip on Twitter, Facebook, it's just ChapterSkip, like us on there. Send us an email to chapterskip@gmail.com, and on YouTube, youtube.com/ChapterSkip and ChapterSkip podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Anyway, on behalf of ChapterSkip, I'm Sean.
I'm Chad.
I'm Joe.
And Chad, you didn't say anything funny. Fuck off.
We'll catch you guys again next time.
Bye. Just kidding, Chad.
Fuck you.
Hate you really.